Hello there and welcome to Travel Tomato. This is Jun here in Brooklyn, New York, and with me here is Kitty from Australia. So Kitty, could you please firstly introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm Kitty from Australia. I love traveling and I'm currently traveling in New York City. I've been to quite a few places.
So what brings you to New York this time?
This time my best friend was getting married in Honolulu and I was the maid of honor, and I just spontaneously decided, since I was, in Hawaii, it was close by, to come to the rest of the United States.
So which kind of lifestyle do you like more between Hawaii and New York? I mean, they're urban, hustling and bustling, but you have lots of things to do, you never get bored. And the other lifestyle is like a rural, pastoral, poetic. If you were there for too long, maybe you could get a little bit bored. Yeah, which one do you prefer?
Well, I live on the coast currently, like in Sydney, but I also kind of am always in between the two. I'm always changing my mind because sometimes I'm like, oh, I love the beach. I could never be more than 15 minutes away from the water. Like I have to be near the ocean. But then other times I think, I love the hustle and bustle of the city. There's so much going on. There's so many shows, art shows, comedy shows, things like that to go to. Like Sydney, I live in the eastern suburbs, and then Sydney is just like 20 minutes away, and then you're in the main city, but then, a 20-minute trip and you're at the beach.
Yeah. That sounds like a whole package. I mean, a great combination. You can have both the tranquility of the seashore, and also you have all the convenience that a modern city can provide you with. Have you been to a lot of places? I mean, in terms of traveling?
I've been to a few places. Obviously, there's a lot more that I want to do. Like, I haven't been to Europe yet, which is, of course, once you get to Europe, there's so many places you can easily go, like on the train and stuff. But mostly, Australia is pretty close to Southeast Asia, so I've spent like a lot of time there. Like, I've been to Indonesia, but like the typical Australian, like Bali, 6 or 7 times, because it's just like a $200 flight.
Wow.
And you're in Bali, and then everything's so cheap there. But I would say also like Vietnam.
Wow.
I spent like a month and a half in Vietnam. And when I was in Vietnam, I went like almost to the border of China, like up in the mountains.
Yes.
In Sapa. That was pretty cool. Also, I've been to Nepal. I did the Mount Everest base camp there. I was in Nepal for like a month, and then I also was in India for 6 months. And I went near the border, I think Pakistan.
Yeah.
Like I went pretty close up there. That was a really good experience. And then America twice. I done like a layover maybe in Singapore. I think maybe that's all.
So among all those places, is there one place that you always wanted to go back?
Yeah, Vietnam. I definitely would want to live in Vietnam. Like I was looking into it, like maybe teaching English there. That would be good.
Yeah, I also went to Vietnam one time, late 2018. I really liked that place.
Yeah, so nice, so peaceful.
So beautiful,
all the
peaceful.
people, the food as well. That's
food.
what really, really draws me.
Right.
There, Vietnamese food is my most
Right.
favorite food.
Yeah, I really like the pho, the rice noodles, they're quite iconic. And also lots of dishes and snacks. Economic development there is also really good.
Yeah.
In the past few years, a lot of manufacturing business has been shifting from the other parts of Asia into Vietnam. So you've been to quite a lot of places. So what inspires you to travel? What's your biggest motivation for traveling?
I think, like obviously experiencing new cultures and seeing the world, but also I think it's a little bit of escapism.
Really?
In a way, you know what I mean? Like I feel like when you travel, you get away from reality. Just like all the things that worry you back at home, like work, family things, all of that.
Yeah.
You're just like, because I really only like to travel solo. So like I like to, be alone. So I get to spend more time alone with my thoughts and just like I can make, all those choices like every day. I don't have to worry about anybody else. But definitely, I don't know. It's just so fun. Like I wish I could merge the two rather than escapism, just like make my whole life traveling.
Yeah, it's interesting that you use the term escapism. It sounds a little bit negative,
Yeah.
but I know it's actually very meaningful. It gives you a temporary moment so that you can try to refresh yourself. And through that process, actually you're upgrading yourself, you're changing your angles, your perceptions
Oh,
to this
100%.
world. Yeah. So
Definitely.
actually, everybody in this modern world, especially people living in the very busy cities, needs a moment of escaping to, redefine and rediscover him or herself.
Like, like a lot of people when they work, like you work that corporate job, because I did work a corporate job for a while. And so I was thinking like, oh, I just want to like go drink cocktails on a beach. But that's not really how I like to travel,
Right.
I really like to get dirty and rough and just like do like, things that most people don't usually do. Also just meeting so many people from all around the world that, usually if you're at home, you're kind of stuck with, not stuck, but like, you're around a lot of the same people, but you get to meet so many different people and just get
That's
so many
true.
different world views coming in and ideas and things like just, new passions and hobbies and stuff can like come into your life.
You prefer traveling solo, right?
Yeah, but like I prefer traveling solo as in not coming with people I know, but when I like, get to a hostel, then I'll meet people and then I'll like travel around with them.
Exactly. As a female traveling solo, have you ever encountered any challenges or difficulties?
Honestly, no.
No, that's great.
But the only real challenges that I encountered are other people who haven't traveled, you know what I mean? Saying to me, oh no, it's dangerous. Oh no, like you're gonna get attacked or you're gonna get robbed and all of this. But that's like the only issue because, if you just think like a bit smart, like just have general street smarts,
Exactly.
you're literally fine. And I would say any woman can travel, like no matter where she's from, what she looks like, anything like that. Just go for it.
Do you still remember one person you've met during your trip who is so special, unforgettable, or who has like a unique story?
Definitely many people like that. One of my friends, Billy, he's like a really great, amazing friend, and he definitely encourages me to just travel to like definitely more unbeaten track places because he goes to like really wild places.
Wow.
Like at the moment he's like in Africa, but like not that, like he's gone like in like a Jeep just with like a random person who he's met, and he's like gone on this like route where like you won't see people for 3 days, like right through the back of places and stuff. So yeah, he's a really like
that's cool. That sounds
awesome friend, and he just like is like, I'll just work, save the money, and then I'll like go.
Wow.
So
That sounds cool. It seems that he really enjoys, the adventures and also solitude.
Yeah.
Right. So, looking back into all your traveling experiences, what is the most important thing that you have learned?
I'd say that more money is always gonna come. So if you've got you don't even have to have that much. If you've got a little bit of money and a passport, and of course traveling is like definitely, privileged. Like, of course, it's a privileged thing, but like, even if you it's like, so easy to say, but like, if you've got money and a passport, just go. Like literally just look online on Skyscanner and literally look like the country you live in.
Okay.
Everywhere. Where's the cheapest place? And just go there.
Yeah, one more thing, visa.
Oh yeah, and a visa.
That's equally
course,
important.
of course.
Yeah. So when I went to Australia in 2019, actually, I was there by cruise ship. We also navigated across the Great Barrier Reef.
Beautiful.
Magnificent, fascinating. But experiencing bleaching, right?
Yeah, bleaching.
Yeah, now it's
dying.
It's dying. Are young people in Australia concerned about the environmental issues and situation?
We're very
much
concerned. Even my little sister, like when she was last year, when she was 15, like she like, they all take the day off school, like just young kids, teenagers, and they're protesting like for climate, climate change action and stuff. But yeah, all my friends, like very big on recycling and like reduce, reuse, recycle, just like leaving like a minimal footprint on the world. We're very like, not picking up trash if you see it, cigarette butts. Like we even have walks along the beach, so like you can like meet up with a group of people and then go pick up all litter.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Like the basic civic education in terms of the sustainability.
But yeah, we're definitely really worried, especially our oceans are rising so much. Like beaches that used to never have water, like even Bondi Beach, was just like famous iconic Australian beach. The water, like usually the water just like comes up to the shore and there's like this much sand. The water was coming all the way into the car park where the cars were the other day.
Oh my goodness.
And Maroubra Beach, like my grandma, she used to have a house right across the road, and it used to just be like a sandy beach, and the water has been coming up so high, like the sand has washed away and it's just all rocks now, like rocks you never would have seen before. So it's like having a huge impact, and houses, like along the coast are just like eroding so much from the water, and they're like falling into the water, and it's majorly showing.
Exactly.
Now.
That's indeed a very critical situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you can, please, do your share to help promote the sustainability, of this world, of the globe that we share together. No matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak, no matter what kind of culture you're born with, but we share the one planet.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay, Katie, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much.